Hello, you're listening to Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing Podcast, presented by Brandon Elliott. This show will be going over all aspects of real estate investing and is intended to educate, motivate, and prepare you to take action on your first or next real estate investment. For more information, please visit BrandonElliottInvestments.com. Thank you for listening and enjoy.
Welcome back, everyone, and welcome to Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing Podcast. My name is Brandon Elliott. First off, if this is your first time tuning in, we've had a lot of new people over the last couple months really tune in from one avenue or another, from me being on other podcasts or speaking engagements and so forth. So a lot of new people coming in. So if this is your very first time tuning in, welcome. My name is Brandon Elliott. I'm originally from New Jersey, but I live out in San Diego, sunny San Diego, California, Old Town area, and very blessed to be out here. I've been out here for the last 12, 13 years. And what we've been able to accomplish is utilizing and leveraging credit, good credit, right? There's a difference between good credit and bad credit to be able to get really the goals and dreams that we wanted. We wanted to get the financial freedom. How do we do that? We had to get active income and then turn active income into passive income. So went from broke, busted, disgusted, Brandon from New Jersey, having next to nothing, living off of food stamps and public housing, and, single parent mother, raised three misfits basically, and did a hell of a job. At the end of the day, wanted to get started into real estate, to start changing my life. Had no idea how to do it. No idea whatsoever. Read all the books, podcasts, YouTube to get started, and podcasts just like this. And at the end of the day, I realized I fell in love with the BRRRR strategy. That's B and then 4R. So buy, renovate, rent, refinance, repeat. And having next to no money into all of my deals, we've been able to build up an awesome portfolio of over $8.5 million worth of real estate and collecting roughly $48,000 per month on what I say, quote unquote, passive income. We still have to work for it in many ways. There's no such thing as truly passive income unless you are a money partner and really, really hands off. And so we are money partners on certain deals for sure. But for a lot of things, we like to get active. We like to put our money to work. We like to have little to no money into our deals and pull our money back out sooner than later. And so how I fell in love with that was I was doing door knocking. I became good at it, and I got recruited into a real estate investment company at the time back in 2012. And I ended up seeing the systems in place. I got attracted to what nowadays it's all on social media, and I was getting the FOMO from, for this example, people on social media and seeing all the cool things, right? Back then, less social media and more like, wow, I can't believe there's an office that's doing this. I've never seen it in my life. And I saw the money, the impact, the blessings that we were helping out other people with getting out of pre-foreclosure, getting them modified or a short sale, and then the money that was actually being made in the office. And that office didn't last that much longer. It lasted about 6 to 12 months afterwards because of the greed from money. So that taught me another valuable lesson. But afterwards, I went down the rabbit hole. I picked up all the knowledge, and for 2 years, 4 hours a day, still working 2 restaurant jobs, barely getting by and making about $30,000 a year was I was trying to figure out, how do I get started into real estate? And I originally came from a bad path of becoming a major pothead. I ended up having an explosion in my apartment, making hash oil. I was selling marijuana at the time as well, and just doing a lot of dumb things, misguided, going down the wrong path, wasn't happy with myself, wasn't productive. And so I had an explosion in my apartment in September 24th, I believe, 25th of 2012. Or maybe it was 2013, and I had this explosion. I burnt 40% of my body. I was induced into a coma for a full week, and I had to learn how to walk again after the 3 surgeries and from being bedridden so long. After that, a month later, got out of the hospital and having like 170, 180 staples in me and pull it all out, and a bunch of nastiness. I ended up getting raided again in my apartment for the explosion, for the chaos that I caused, and ended up having a lot of court charges over my head. So years later, I found myself, fighting this. So I'm not going to jail for 12 years that they were trying to set me up for. And it looked like I was about to settle for 3 to 5 years. And that was more realistic. And even though this was the first time, I thought it was just going to be a slap on the wrist, something like that. And it just wasn't. It just wasn't the case. And so luckily, the courts actually made me get a somewhat of a mentor at the time. I had to go to 3 meetings a week, an MA, which is like a Marijuana is Anonymous. I had the option to an AA for Alcohol Anonymous, and then an NA for Narcotics Anonymous. And narcotics was just very extreme for me. I've never gone down that path of very hardcore stuff, so I couldn't relate, and it was just a little aggressive for me. So I went to the MA several times, and one of them I did like, but a lot of young kids going because their parents were making them, something like that. And it was just like more of a laugh at the situation type of thing. With marijuana, it's like, I'm the only person that's getting it. Just a handful of us were really the only ones truly getting addicted to this. So it's kind of the funny, stupid things, but too much of anything can be bad for you, right? And so really identifying that from the start, realizing I wasn't happy with my goals, my plans. My goals at the time were sell enough marijuana to be able to get enough money to buy a farm, to grow more, and to sell. It's just like nonsense, stupid things of that old school, dumb, uneducated thinking. I didn't have any guidance. I didn't have a male figure. So I went to AA meetings more because I grew up with my mom going to AA meetings. It just felt more natural. And so even though I didn't have necessarily a problem with alcohol, I could still relate because I've drank before. I understand I don't like the hangover. Like I understand drinking for the wrong reasons and having too much and all that stuff. So I related more with that. So I went to those, I got a mentor, and that guidance really saved my life. Kit is his name, and in Carlsbad, so right up the road from me in San Diego here, just changed my life in so many ways because he believed in me. He saw something bigger in me. First time ever that I really experienced that. And then on top of that, he prepared me for court. He said, hey, they're going to give you an opportunity to speak. It's important for you to be prepared for that. And I was like, yeah, but I don't like speaking. I'm more introvert. I don't like all eyes on me. I don't like attention. Like I'm going to freeze up. And he was like, yeah, well, you got to practice, you got to get your stuff together. So I wrote everything out. I kind of poured my heart out, and I started trying to memorize stuff and make sure that I was prepared for this. In court, I got a second chance because I was about to serve 3 years, I believe, is what they were settling on right then and there. And that scared the hell out of me. Instead, I was able to speak, and I just looked at my lawyer. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, what was the point of paying you and postponing it for 2 years? Like, they just said all these horrible things about me from the DA side. And then, so long story short, I was able to speak. I was silent for a full minute. Afterwards, I spoke. I told my story, and the judge gave me a second chance, basically. They totally 180 turn on this. Realized it wasn't malicious, that I was just young, dumb, misguided, and gave me a second chance. Realized it wouldn't happen again, and allowed me to be on house arrest. It was expensive, but it was well worth it, if you can imagine, for my other options. So being on that, I went down the rabbit hole of books, podcasts, YouTube, get started in real estate. I didn't even know about OPM. I didn't know about, other people giving money. Nobody in my family, nobody that I knew had money, nobody that I believed would even give me money. So I definitely wasn't going around asking for it. But I figured out, okay, well, the banks, it was just natural. Okay, well, banks have money. They give out money. Like nobody else is going to give money. If you want real estate, you go to the banks. And so that ignorance was kind of like the bliss. It was something beneficial because I went to the banks. I started figuring out how to, books and podcasts, YouTube on credit now, and then how to be able to implement this strategy by getting credit cards to be able to liquidate into cash so that I could, because I wasn't qualifying for loans. I wasn't qualifying for lines of credit. I just wasn't. I was working restaurants. I was young. I didn't have any really tax returns. I was making 30 grand a year in an expensive city like San Diego. It just wasn't happening. So I ended up figuring this out. And then afterwards, I figured out how to get business credit cards. And at first it was really personal credit cards. And that was a learning curve that I made. But personal credit cards at 0% interest because I was cheap. I had a broken mindset. I was like, I'm not trying to pay any interest. That's crazy. And so I figured out how to get 0% interest credit cards for 12 to 18 months. I took that out. I bought real estate. I learned how to liquidate it into cash, put it into my bank account. I bought real estate with it. I completed my renovation with it. I refinanced it. I have no money into any of my deals, and they all cash flow very well. I get the tax benefits. We've been able to build up something incredible, and we've been teaching people since 2017 and officially making it like into a real business 2019. But what I would say is the last year and a half to 2 years, we've really invested so much more into business and understanding how to get the right mentors to really guide us, and just the trajectory of where we're going. It's incredible. It's all data driven decisions. We have KPIs on everything. And so we're really making a huge impact in a lot of people's lives right now. And with no exception, to ideally be a resource and a blessing to you and your family as well. So with that being said, if you need more capital, if you could use more money, and realize that the banks have been doing this to us forever, the rich do this, the billionaires do this, they leverage OPM. It's other people's money, but it's from the banks in many cases, and it's next to nothing interest rates. So for you to be able to really get compound type of success from this, it really comes down to getting the money from the banks. And if you think about it, the banks do this to us, right? It's just time to flip the script on the banks. We give all of our money to the banks. They give us nothing percent back. It's 0%, right? Next to nothing. And then next, they lend it out 9 times over. The banks make on average anywhere from 500 to 3,000% return. It's incredible. And also, if you put $100,000 into the bank, then next week try to pull out 50,000, 20,000, 100,000, any bit of your money, that's good chunks. They're going to say, whoa, do you have an appointment? Like, what? You got to schedule an appointment to be able to pull out that money. It will take 2 to 3 weeks. And it's like, what? No, I gave you the money. You didn't ask any questions. You took the whole damn thing. And so they put it to work. And they give us nothing percent back. Okay, so it's important to flip the script and do the exact same thing. The banks are giving opportunities to us. We live in America, guys. It's the most incredible breakthroughs of lending and opportunities out there. No other countries are doing it like us. So, and most people in our group are actually taking these funds and investing in Mexico, in Tulum, or in where the interest rates would be 20%, or in across seas in different ways, into India or Russia right now. So there's many opportunities where you can put this stuff to work in other countries as well. But needless to say, if you are a business owner, if you are, you have opportunities passing you by and you want to capitalize on them more, you want to take down more opportunity, you want to be able to grow and scale your business, then I encourage you to check out Credit Counsel Elite today, because until the end of this year, we don't do this rarely ever. It's really just for Black Friday, but we had such an overwhelming response to it, and so many people with FOMO afterwards, with missing out and cursing us out on email saying, hey, I want that deal again. It's like, hey, we're not doing it again. Our marketing team has encouraged me to extend it one last time for the holiday special, so you can take advantage of the tax write-off before the end of the year, and you can start off 2024 on the right foot. So with that being said, we are giving up to 50% off. 50% off. Okay, up to 50% off on a majority of our products at Credit Counsel Elite. So what you can do is go to www.creditcounselelite.com. There's a quick 10-minute video on our website that explains more about what the heck we do here at Credit Counsel Elite and how it could potentially serve you. And then afterwards, you're going to have a ton of questions, with ideally some of those questions being answered in that video. But afterwards, write down those questions and you can book a call with our team to go over exactly where you're at, where you're looking to go, the obstacles that may be in the way. We'll give you some free education and some banks that I typically use that nobody else knows about, 10 of them to be exact, so that you can get up to 50,000 on each one of those very easy on your own if you'd like. Otherwise, you can get that second opinion from us, and you'll have the opportunity to actually join Credit Counsel Elite, become an invested member in the group, so that you can start changing your life for the better, for your finances, for your family, for your future, and for so much more. We have awesome opportunities that really bring an incredible ROI to your investment. And we have people in the group right now that are getting $4, $5, even $600,000 in new funding. And of course, we have other people in the group that are getting obviously 0% interest travel hacking, saving hundreds of thousands per year on travel hacking, as well as sign up bonuses from the banks, typically $10,000 to $20,000 in free cash from sign up bonuses, just from opening up new bank accounts or opening up new credit cards. We had one guy get 13 new cards just from one bank the other day in our group, and he ended up getting a $1,200 bonus for all of those cards. That's almost $15,000 in free sign-up bonuses. So just from one bank, okay? And there's several banks, so you can just get anywhere from 100 to 200,000 just from one bank. Now, keep in mind, there are 9,500 banks nationwide in America. They all want to lend to you. That's their job, right? We have it broken down state by state, all of those banks, and in order from top to bottom, which ones are giving out the most funding. We know how they work. We know exactly how they're judging you, and we know how to play the game. We actually call this the same similarities of this is real life Monopoly. And in real life Monopoly, unfortunately, many of us out there don't know the rules to the game. So therefore, you're missing out on the opportunities. You don't know what to say. You have a great credit score, but you're applying for like an elite type of credit card with the bank, but you need a elite checking account with them. And if you don't, you're automatically denied. So there's policies, there's rules of thumb. There's so many different things and ins and outs, and ever changing as well with these banks and promotional deals going on. So I encourage you to get educated today. Save yourself time, save yourself money, and make a hell of a lot more in the meantime. So join Credit Counsel Elite today. Take advantage of the discount that we have going on, up to 50% off, and really be able to set yourself up for success in the near future. So with that being said, love you guys all so much. Happy holidays. This discount is going on now, right now, until December 31st, 5 p.m. So the end of the day, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, the 31st, the last day of the month. So before you go celebrate the New Year's, set up 2024 on the right foot. Check out Credit Counsel Elite today. Book that call with us. Get that second opinion, and I would be honored to serve you. So we'll see you on the inside. Till next time, God bless. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button to Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing Podcast. What are you waiting for? You're going to want to do that right here, right now, so that you get the newest notification every Monday. After that, leave that 5-star review and drop in the comments below how you feel about this episode and what you're taking action on for 2024. We'll see you soon, guys. God bless. Thanks.
This has been another episode of Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing Podcast, brought to you by Brandon Elliott. For more information, please visit BrandonElliottInvestments.com. Also, please don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below. Thanks again for joining. Until next time, God bless.